And welcome back to the Starladder I-League Invitational live here from the Kiev Starladder Arena. Brought to you by Twitch, which is our broadcasting partner, and we are in the middle of our second series of the day, which is a game in Group B. That means we have Newbee versus Team Secret. We already had one game. Secret rolled over Newbee. I really can't put it any other way. They look dominant, and we're gonna have to see if Newbee can have an answer to the entirely different gameplay than they have been doing so far. And that's still there to it. We have the draft coming up very soon. So what type of changes are you looking forward to seeing, David?
More aggressive supports,
Yeah.
more aggressive cores. Like they have AA and Tide, two very passive defensive heroes. They just need to match Secret's aggression. I mean, that's not even about matching Secret's about. That's just where teams have had the most success.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of early movements, cores that can come online fast, less farm-oriented Dota.
Less team fight.
Yeah, I think teams are definitely over-prioritizing the team fight, at least looking at Vici and Newbee coming out of China.
It sounds like an easy problem to fix for Newbee, but it seems like they are having a couple of issues. And they're opening the same way. Well, they don't, because it was Nyx Assassin for Secret last time. My bad. But they take it away from them. Also for Newbee, one of their most played heroes. And Newbee banned out the Rubik previous game. This time Secret snags it up first pick.
That is interesting.
Rubik Bane even.
Why
They switch it up.
why does Nyx Assassin behoove you to pick Rubik more than Earthshaker?
That's a good question. Why is, I mean, Nyx is...
I feel like this is probably just more of a change of pace for Secret.
Perhaps it will be clear later in the game as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they have maybe just decided on a strategy that's based around the Nyx Assassin, or maybe they wanted to have it so they could have a Venomancer. Nyx Assassin is a decent counter to a Venomancer.
I think it's, with Secret, it's very much like this first pick Rubik is, obviously Yups are fantastic Rubik player, known for his playmaking ability on this hero, but why Rubik all of a sudden as a first pick as opposed to the other heroes we've seen more of?
Keeps the Tide at bay. Right, some of those big team fight ults you don't want to pick up against a Rubik.
Nullfield, good against Veno, good against Necro, which you can kind of maybe anticipate Newbee picking, and they did in fact pick the Veno.
Yo, Ice Frog, if you want to buff Rubik, because he doesn't get picked up very often, this is kind of an anomaly here. Give him a talent that buffs Nullfield. Or give Nullfield an active. I've been advocating for that for a long time. Nullfield's kind of a boring ability.
Rubik is not completely ignored, though.
Not completely, no.
Yes.
I would say he's underutilized.
I like how Secret's first two picks kind of make the bans of Newbee. Well, obviously they're important, but it's like, yeah, you just wasted those bans on supports. They picked their first two supports anyway.
Imagine, Rubik Bane is going to be running around this game again, probably.
Yeah.
That's always the secret way. Supports that run around that pressure because Ace is kind of left on his own. We saw that game, Weaver versus Tide. Pretty tough matchup, lost it pretty badly. I think he could have maybe done a bit better, but ultimately, they don't care how Ace's lane goes because the other lanes are doing well, and Ace always gets the chance to catch up and has a hero that isn't too early game farm dependent.
We want to protect mid ones, farm as much as possible. This SDC versus mid one matchup, I think, is one of the most clear, like, mid carry versus laning phase. You know, it's like you just want to be able to gank the enemy's carry as much as possible and shut them down early. Like, we talk about the same thing every single time a team is facing Newbee or Team Secret. It's like, try and prioritize shutting down their mid laner early on. I mean, there was that one game against Secret where Na'Vi picked up they had counters to Necrophos, they already had Pugna, then they had Lina, and then they also ganked Necrophos like 4 times in the first 10 minutes.
I mean, that paid off.
Mid one had no game.
That Necrophos was not there.
Yeah, he was a complete non-factor.
Newbee did try, though, in the mid lane previous game. It wasn't enough. They tried to shut down mid one a bit.
The Chaos
Knight
Knight and... So the notable carry that's still left out there is Sven.
Yeah. Which team would you see that on?
Fits a little bit better for Newbee right now, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But I guess I haven't seen a huge amount. Sven's normally picked, I feel like, in certain situations where it's like you're versing a carry that it's going to match up well against. Like you need to burst an anti-mage, for example, or you're versing a Nature's Prophet in lane. Interesting. I mean, that they banned the CK. I wonder if that speaks to what Secret are doing. Maybe worried about, like, I mean, Anti-Mage could have been a very good pick, always good against the Veno.
Enchantress is still in the pool. Could they do something weird with their Bane and Rubik? Do you see any kind of way that they could...
Yeah.
No? No, not at all?
9.
If it was like Miracle, like mid Rubik, maybe, but I wouldn't.
I'm sure
that
mid 1 can
possibility
play
for-
Rubik.
If they had a 4 position that can initiate, I think they need to pick like.
Oh, that's an
Okay, that was
initiator.
not the hero I was thinking at all.
I
I was
think
thinking Earthshaker as an off lane because with these 2 supports, you really need a hard initiator.
The theme with Secret's draft, looking at game 1 now, game 2, is definitely just winning your lanes.
Yeah.
Bad Nature's Prophet this time, Nature's Prophet ban. It's like, who's one of the best laners left? Let's get a Legion now. It's hero that just wins the lane.
Yeah,
And
Legion's-
skirmishes as well.
Yeah, Legion's great because you can match against a Venomancer, right? No matter what lane, even if Venomancer is mid again, you just put Legion Commander in mid. It works so well because your passive really enjoys the fact that you're getting hit by wards. You proc Moment of Courage,
Yep.
I think, is the name of that ability.
Might not want to burst the Ursa, but
Yeah, you don't like Ursa.
You do
if
not
you get
like
the
her.
tri lane again, you might not be too upset about that, because depending what Newbee's lane is going to be, Nyx Ursa is not like the scariest duo right now.
Ursa really likes both of the supports, Rubik Bane, later on into the game if he gets Aghanim Scepter, because he can shrug off both of their holding abilities.
Yeah.
So that's
But he's got to
pretty
get there
valuable.
first.
He's got to get there. He also, like Legion Commander, doesn't really want to duel Ursa all that much. It's an aggressive, lane-dominating hero, takes Roshan pace. I think Roshan's really important for Newbee, and the way they kind of play the game. Think sort of like Liquid and how they always try and get their early Rosh. It really stems the aggression from the enemy team. It keeps them from being able to end the game too quickly, and you're able to use that Aegis to get a lot of farming time by pushing in all the waves and getting map control because the enemy team doesn't want to fight you.
The problem that I sometimes see with Newbee, or not Newbee, sorry, with Ursa, is that it's obvious when he's doing Roshan, and then you basically force the other team to contest it, and you have a fight, even if, whether you want it or not. So are you feel like they're going to be able to sneak a Roshan here, or do they have already a decent lineup to fight that?
Key somewhat to taking that Rosh is to have a hero that like pushes out the lane and creates a free Rosh. I think as an Ursa, you never want to go for Rosh if there will be a fight, especially before you have like a blink and stuff. That first Rosh you always want to do at a time where it's just uncontested.
Yeah.
And if Newbee, like, if they're always going to have superior team fight, then it's also very difficult to fight into that Roshan pit, even if you know that they're doing it. Necrophos, which now means our Venomancer is probably offlane, or it's some sort of aggro tri-lane setup, though we don't know what Secret's tri-lane is yet, so it's kind of hard for Newbee to make that assumption right now.
Yeah. It's less big teamfight ulti from Newbee. It's much more heroes that can constantly fight with the Ursa, Necro, Veno. I like it a lot better. I still think they're going to maybe run into some issues this game. Lockdown against the Nyx is very good at kind of ganking an Ember, but that's the only lockdown they have at this point. And we'll see what Secret do as far as their lanes go, because they can really pressure Newbee's early game here. If you pressure a hero like Ursa, that hero really struggles to come back.
What about a Kaka Earth Spirit here? Is that crazy? Can they do 2 melee supports?
Against Bane Rubik might be a bit rough.
Yeah. It would kind of kill their tri-lane thing too.
Is Phoenix
not
still
really
an
an
option
option.
for them potentially?
That's a Newbee pick. That would, if they really want to stick to the team fight, yeah, that.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
I've never seen Phoenix without Void from China in these qualifier
This is true.
games.
It's true. Normally they have the void with it.
I can't. I don't. Like, I'm not sure if that's 100% though. Too many damn qualifier games.
There are
going
so
on.
many games to keep up with all of them. Yeah.
Really, the lockdown against Ember is great. Legion, when you're dueling, you want to try and stop the damage coming out. Lockdown for the Bane to stop Fiend Script. I feel like that is kind of something they should be looking for out of this last pick, because otherwise it's like just Nyx. Who else is canceling a grip? Who else is going to try and disable Legion? You don't want to waste that Reaper on for a non-kill.
Clockwork support.
Is Oracle terrible here?
Uh,
So I was thinking about like
Terrible.
being able to have a saving hero against Bane, Legion
Yeah.
Commander, and it has a dispel against Ember Spirit. But I don't know, it's really hard to read the laning phase in team fights right now because teams are so adept at being able to give themselves an advantage with atypical lanes, right? So we see a lot of like dual lane mids, for example. Like our offlaners are going mid sometimes. It's like a lot of crazy stuff happens.
It's a lot of musical lanes.
Yeah, it's really hard to, from like sitting here on a chair and like trying to read how the laning phase, and because that would be the weakest point of Oracle, right? A hero like that is like very weak in the laning phase, can easily be run over, and it looks terrible going into mid game if you're at a significant net worth disadvantage.
Well, they're taking their time for this last pick.
It's another
us in suspense.
range disabler or something.
Hero or something.
It's a bird.
That's normally a support visage with Newbee. I'm not a big fan of support visage. I feel like the hero's just so squishy and does need the farm, but...
That means that Nyx Assassin is the hard 5? Are you going to give Visage a bit more priority?
Newbee to play it on Faith quite...
Oh,
I think Faith is normally a visage player. Oof. Brood, Ace, Classic. This looks
oh no!
like a good Brood game.
Yeah.
They've been brood mothered.
I remember when Ace was on a team where they had like everybody playing Brood.
This
and
is
it was
why they
always
picked the
one that you
Bane.
always ban.
They put Newbee in a nightmare. No, get me out.
Is it that convincing? Is this, as Blitz would say it, a free Brood game?
It's a pretty...
God, five position visage against Brood is like, you're useless. The Ursa doesn't do much against Brood. The Venom's like,
you can put Venom against Brood.
So yeah, you have the Gale at least against
It's really tough.
It's still tough, yeah.
He throws spiderlings at you, and your defense mechanism is throwing Gale at the spiderlings. You know, like if you play it smart as a Broodmother, and you just don't like control right click and you throw all your units at once, including yourself, at the Venomancer, then you're usually pretty good. You just play the harassment game.
All right. So secret.
I'm heavily in the secret camp.
Yes.
All right.
Secret.
Well, let's find out if this indeed will be the last game that Newbee is playing here in Kiev, or if we are going to see a game 3. It is over to Lyrical and Blitz for the answer.
Thank you very much, Shiver. Blitz, this is terrifying. They got Bane, they got Brood. I was saying during the draft, I was like, I cast so many of the secret games, and I saw them pick Brood over and over again, and just like win in 15 minutes or like 20 minutes or something insane like that. Do you think this is going to be that type of a game?
Potentially. I think that there's a high shot of it just because of the enemy heroes, but at the same time, Newbee, they've got a lot of the meta heroes.
Okay.
They got some good stuff going for them. Necrolite, we just saw what he could do. There was even a counter on the other side, but this game a little bit less so.
I mean, the thing that I do worry about, the panel touched on it, was Visage. We've tended to see it in the mid role or in the safe lane role, this time being played in the support position.
Yes.
I mean, do you think that hero is any good in the support role, really? Why did they decide to take it?
I think it's just a good hero overall. It pairs well with what they have. Nyx plus Visage is a very aggressive combo in general. Plus the birds, by the way, are very good against Bane.
Okay.
Because you can just fly, overhead, stun. If you get nightmared, bird will tank that for you. Your bird friends are everything for you.
Some bird friends, for sure. You can hear the crowd right there giving a little bit of love to Newbee. They want to see the TI runner-up stick around for a little bit longer, at least for one more game. But on the verge of elimination, it is going to be a tough one for them.
Yeah, I do commend you, by the way. Lyrical turned to me. I wasn't even paying attention, and he said, yo, Broodmother. And it was like 2 picks in. It's like, Brood.
Thank you very much. I cast a bunch of their games. They love this hero. It's all over the place.
Everybody loves this hero. Everybody, it's like a love-hate relationship, you know? Everybody loves this hero, and everyone simultaneously hates playing against this hero.
He's really a monster. And Ace, very well known for it. His days back on Danish Bears and everywhere else. But mid one is going to be going mid against an Ursa. Talk to me a little bit about this matchup.
I think Ursa, in general, just almost always beats every single melee. And that's what they were trying to avoid. They were trying to make it so that the Ursa thought that with the Brood up there, if you see the web behind him, they would think twice, and they would maybe put the Necro here, which is still a pretty miserable matchup, though.
Yeah, instead it's going to be Ace down bottom, like you're saying. And it's going to be mid one getting a little bit of help from Puppey here. As bottom, or rather top lane, Moogie taking a little bit of damage, and looks like he's going to be able to live through this most likely, but a couple
Fata's
more
got a
hits.
nuke in 2 seconds.
Oh.
They do get the slowdown. Yapzor doesn't have a lift available.
Right
But
clicks, dive. Oh, God, just barely alive there on about 10 HP. Moogie somehow living.
barely makes it out of there, and this top lane, we saw it the other day as well when Beastmaster just right-clicks an Echo. He can't really do anything with level 1 Heartstopper Aura. When you get Heartstopper Aura, you just kind of want to sit in the lane, have people lose their HP slowly, and Faith manages to get the patented Sir Action Slack's half pull, where he just gets like 1 range creep. That's Jake's thing.
You played a lot of pubs with him when you were in Sweden, didn't you?
Yeah, at some point I started to think he was doing it on purpose. But he's just slow.
That's a harder timing to get than the real pull.
It is. That's the confusing part, is he just consistently was a little bit late.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, down bottom, KP facing off against Ace. They are going to see how that matchup develops. The panel talked about Gale being not really a great thing to deal with the Brood.
No, it's such a miserable matchup. We saw it the other day in Liquid versus... Who did they play against? It was Liquid versus Mineski.
Yeah.
And that was one of the tougher Veno games I've ever seen. And Veno usually just has a free game, but this hero is still exploitable, especially in the laning phase. Just because you can't do anything to a Brood. Like, her move speed is still really high, even when she gets Poison Sting. Like, even without boots, she's got 321 on her. And without the Poison Sting on her, it's 413. The Gale doesn't bother her that much because of the regen. It's just a kind of perfect storm of things.
Well, and that gives a lot of room for Puppey to go mid and help out against the Ursa, which might be a tough matchup otherwise.
It is definitely a tough matchup. I think this was one of Weeha's most preferred matchups. Because as an Ember Spirit, you think that, yeah, he can't break your Flame Guard, but he just runs you down, hits you a few times. Ursa's got very good move speed.
And now up top again, Moogie maybe in a little bit of trouble. They are going to be able to get the slow with the Grave Chill coming from Faith, and also have a Soul Assumption if they want it, but they're just kind of pushing that Necrophos back. I guess they did get the pull.
Yeah, that's the important part. So the lane pushes back in, and they try to win the experience war. But so far, so good. Nothing really giving way.
Oh, Ace, he is caught here by the Dust. The Impale's going to go through. If they can find this kill, it would be really big, and they end up getting the deny. Yapzor knows what he wants to do, and the Spiders find the kill. Oh, are they going to get more? Is Kaka down?
He's got lift.
He's got the lift,
He
pulls
gets it
it
off
back
before the
in.
stun too.
Oh, Yapzor dodges the stun. Can they find it? Oh, he doesn't have enough mana for the Fate Bolt.
Yeah, and he manages to clip both of the Spiders in the stun as well. But still, Yapzor, just such a skilled 4-position player.
Certainly one who knows how to play Rubik quite well.
That's such a big swing. All of a sudden, you were about to get First Blooded, and then you get First Blood instead, and your net worth just shoots up.
Yeah. Well, so Fata up there top having a good time. Mid one is holding on to a Hasterin as well. Is there a chance that they can kill SC in this lane?
I don't think so. I think for the most part, you're just zoning him out. This Ursa doesn't really get pressure too much. He's not afraid because his turnaround potential is quite high against the Ember Spirit. But this dual lane is bothering him a lot. He's getting levels though. That is the upside.
Yeah.
Like, he's out-leveling this Ember.
Yeah, even though he's down about 10 CS and a couple of denies there as well. I mean, is that something to be concerned at all about for mid one, or do you think he's pretty okay with this situation right now?
I think he's pretty okay with it right now.
Yeah.
Like, being able to not just get completely dominated in this matchup is kind of a win in itself.
On that Iron Talon as well. I forgot about that. That was the mid one build for Ember Spirit for a little while in the qualifiers. You'd like head off to the jungle eventually and just start farming and give the lane over to the mid lane.
Yeah, it's a good move. Because Ember's problem is that you often want to just keep going around the map killing. And at some point you do need a farm, and Iron Talon going to help out a lot with that. Just your pure raw farm speed gets up quite a bit, as in mid, Ursa going to get slept up, and now there's 3 heroes for this.
Pretty quick and easy kill. SC nowhere left to go, and well, mid one showing that Hasterin off.
They brought 3 for that though. But what kind of pressure do you really alleviate, Lyrical, as everyone on the side of Newbee not doing so hot at bottom? Ace dodges that Gale, and he might even just get gone on here. Has to TP out, but the damage!
Oh my god, KP didn't stand a chance. I mean, you talk about what pressure you alleviate, you get more pressure on the other lanes, even though you brought 3 there.
Yes. And that's the downside, because you have to play reactively and bring heroes over. As Puppey gets stunned up, but he does not care if he dies.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage. But they do bring over SC. He's the one that gets the final touch. Not worth it, though, compared to how many heroes they've lost around the rest of the map.
Fada, though, struggling at top.
Yeah. Is that big of a deal for a Legion commander in this game?
Kind of, not really, because he's still getting levels. Like, Legion, one of those heroes that doesn't care too much. Because once you hit 6 in a Blink Dagger, your hero's kind of the same. You just want successful duels. And I think the bigger thing about this game that they really wanted was the Purge.
Right.
It's really nice against the Veno. It's one of the few hard purges that get rid of the Veno's Gale.
Yeah, that's something we'll have to keep our eyes on, is how well they're able to position that Legion into being defensive. But
yeah.
mid one, he's actually moving in here now, and it looks like they're trying to bait out Puppey, maybe. They have the sleep there at least to start the setup, and Kaka trying to turn it back around. YapzOr is here as well. They go for the overpower, but the damage is just so significant. And Rage as well. Can they get the chains to keep him there? It's level 6 on the Ember Spear, but salved up. SC able to walk away from that one.
Yeah, and without that stun, maybe mid one commits for that. And the Grave Chill as well slows it down so that he can't use his triple Fire Remnant. And they're just going to shrine back up. Unsuccessful attempt, as Ursa's still doing okay, but it's this bottom lane that's going to be such a point of concern.
Brood basically getting whatever she wants at this point. And maybe going to be the true carry in this game for Ace. Broodmother always was traditionally a hero that fell off. Is that still the case?
Kind of not really, especially with the new build that's a lot more innovative. The downside of the hero, though, is she does get kited very easily, as we saw in the Mineski series. Sometimes you can be 2,000 net worth ahead of everybody, but it doesn't really matter because getting on top of people, making your webs a little bit more mobile is difficult.
Okay. YapzOr getting a lane to himself also. Certainly going to be happy about that. And almost level 6 at 8 minutes in.
Oh, damn, is he?
He's about 5 and a bit after this wave. He'll be about halfway there. What a monster. He always feels like he just gets his farm. And now with Broodmother coming over as well, they might be able to do something, or he's just going to farm out the Ancients, actually.
Yeah. Do you want to set up around this area? When you're Radiant side Brood, you just want to immediately start going upwards so that you can control that Roshan area. Because this hero does Roshan quite quickly, because due to all the negative armor. And being able to secure an early Rosh against a team that features an Ursa, that's Ursa's main draw. If he doesn't have that, what is he really?
A sad bear. It's not
some real existential stuff.
All right, 9 minutes in, 2,000 net worth lead for Secret. With not really that big of a exchange of kills, it's just felt like it's mainly been the laning stage and how much this Brood and Ember have been able to get. You can see that level 6s, they're getting close to hitting it for the Rubik. I don't know, do you think that level 6s are going to be that important in this game?
It will be for the Rubik.
Oh, no.
There is a good amount of spells that he can steal as SECC.
Trying to turn this. Ace actually has dropped down very low. YapzOr steals Reaper's Sight. All right, Newbee, back off now. You don't want to jump into that.
What a cool guy. Just gets whatever he wants consistently.
The whole time, too, mid one is just able to split push out this bottom lane without really fear of anybody getting after him.
Yeah. If you recall, too, in last game, during the draft, I was asking them to pick Rubik because I think it is a very good counter to heroes like the Venomancer. Because what's the best part about Veno? His wards.
Hey.
And what do you get to often steal?
Take the wards, man.
Yeah. What are you going to do as a Veno? Like, just drop Gale every time you run around the map? No, you're going to get kills. You're going to get Veno wards stolen.
God, and look at that. Like, mid one was cutting the creep wave by the tier 3 tower in the bottom lane. Like, taking tower shots. And now, up here top, they found themselves the Visage. YapzOr thinking about going for the Reaper's Sight. Possibly do they decide to go for it, saving it. Maybe can instead go for SC. There's the Enrage. Can they turn this? Can they kill? Looking like the answer might be no. Fod's actually able to dodge it. But he still might end up going down nonetheless.
Yes, and YapzOr really wanted to be able to use that as the turnaround onto that Ursa, but Maybe should have just expended it for the Bane.
Yeah, possibly. Oh, Faith. God, look at this damage.
What?
He just does not stand a chance.
I was turning around to see what was going on with the crowd, and I noticed that they were just following that, and I was like, he is dead.
Blightstone, Medallion. He's going for the Deso now. When he has this, I don't know if there's a safe hero on the map.
He's got it. That's a casual 11-minute Deso. Medallion.
Kaka's dead bottom lane. But it's starting to feel like last game a little bit. Secret is just giving them nothing and taking everything.
Yeah, I am just surprised at how unorganized Newbee looks. It doesn't feel like they have a game plan in this game, in all honesty. Their movements look really rigid, whereas Secret very free-flowing, going wherever they want. The entire map is open to them as YapzOr finally uses it.
Yeah, I'm not quite able to take the kill there onto the Necro. Bane going to be the one that's left behind, and he gets Reapered instead.
Mugi shows him. It's like, this is how it's done.
How dare you steal my scythe.
But it's only the Bane that ever dies.
Yeah.
As they're going to pop in for Roshan. This is going to be a key moment here. If Secret can defend this Roshan, then effectively this game becomes so difficult.
Yeah, they are realizing right now what's happening.
Brood's coming over. He's got a full Deso. This could be a fight that they want to take, but SECC, he's going to complete this in time. Gets bashed up.
Oh, there it is. Aegis is down. SC picks it up. Now do they actually want to stick around and fight? It doesn't look like it. So Newbee able to finally find some momentum in this game as they take down Roche.
Yeah, but YapzOr does manage to steal the Plague Wards. We talked about how that was part of the reason for the counter. Because you get like a 2-in-1. You get whatever level of Poison Sting that applies to his Venom Wards as well. By far one of the best spells in this game to steal.
Mid one just stalking KP. YapzOr is there as well, and they'll be able to ensure the finish as they pull him down and kill him. Meanwhile,
Customary puppy death.
nothing of value was lost, I'm sure.
He's like, guys, I don't care about this. Come on, you just lost your offlaner. Get real.
Well, Faith has been able to get into its birds now, and you talked about that earlier, the interaction being able to take down the Bane sleep and everything else.
Yes, and that's going to be important for them. They do have level 7 on both their supports, so they are quite strong. But again, it just feels like they don't really know what moves they want to make next. Last game, it really bit them in the ass that they just kept running at Secret, and Secret were able to just hold the line and push back forward. Bend, don't break.
Right. Now, Puppy actually doesn't have his level 6 yet. He's just been trying to soak up experience here. And Kaka's going to make the move in. This could be a pretty easy pickoff as they're going to jump forward for it. The lift, though, no. The turn, can they do it? The impale that was stolen. YapzOr Rubik.
YapzOr's just showing off.
He plays his hero better than you do. Plays your hero better than you do, I should say. And Mugi, well, they're going to be able to take down those words, but my God, what a player.
Yeah, nothing really happening right now. Just because YapzOr's like, guys, every time you run at me, this is what always happens. I turn it around on you. And Newbee's like, yeah, you're right. It gets depressing at some point.
I guess I'm trying to figure out now, because they did just take the Aegis. What are Newbee trying to accomplish with this Aegis here? Is it just to get farm on the, what do you think?
So typically when you do have Aegis, the play is to fan out farm, because the enemy team is somewhat afraid of taking the 5-on-5, and you use this to get map control. You don't necessarily 5-man immediately, but you can play a little bit more brazenly when you're shoving out lanes. The downside is that Secret is not afraid at all. They're just like, we do not respect that Aegis in the least. We don't care that you have it. You're such a weak Ursa. Who cares? Like, everyone farm wherever you want. And so it's actually Secret that's playing as if they have the Aegis, and Newbee are the ones relegated to just farming their own jungle. So the Aegis was almost like a keep away. They're just like, you don't get it. We take Aegis so you don't get it.
Yeah.
But when the game feels like that, it's pretty rough. They do have ways back into this game, though. Like, Necrolite is still him.
Yeah. Well, and Ursa just picks up the Blink Dagger now as well. Next going to be going for the BKB. We did see the Blink on Legion just a couple of seconds ago. Other things, Mask of Madness on the Brood. So just amping up that physical damage. We'll have to watch how that works out as the smoke comes from Newbee and they're going to head top.
Yep. Mid one just continues to farm. He has a Void Stone, which I think was meant to be built into a Yule's.
Oh, are they going to camp this Remnant?
Oh, they're pinging. They know.
Oh, he still has that Remnant out, though, and he's just going to TP away, so they don't connect on that. If they see the Remnant, they might be able to camp it and wait for him to jump back out to it, but it's inside the trees, so they're not going to have eyes on it.
Yeah, SECC getting frustrated. This is their 5-man maneuver. Definitely have to take this tier 1 if they're going to do anything with this game, because they're just getting out-farmed like crazy right now. Look at Fada. He's farming with impunity, pushing out bottom to his heart's content, doesn't care. Ace is, I don't even want to click him right now. Like, what has he gotten in the 3 minutes since he has had Deso?
He's got Mask of Madness, I believe, and probably a good bit of gold on top of that.
Yes. But as predicted, Newbee, they make their rotation up at top. They're going to grab this tier 1 tower.
I mean, are they? They, again,
okay,
stealing wards.
They 5-man for it. They were denied once again.
God, it just feels so bad. It's like, what are you trying to do now? It just doesn't feel like there's anything that can really make happen on the map. They are going to be able to get a couple of those spiders.
Spider gold. Every little bit matters right now.
Yeah, for sure. 17 minutes in, 4,000 net worth lead. 7-4 is the score. And you can see right there, it's been a steady climb, pretty consistent from Secret.
The good news, though, is that Secret have heroes that are very easily kited. So if Secret's initial burst isn't enough, that's going to be Newbee's time to turn it around. Because Newbee, on the other hand, have very good sustain heroes in this Necrolite and this Ursa to be able to turn things around. And so if they don't just die immediately to the Ember double remnanting in, the duel, the Broodmother committing for the fight, that's where Newbee's hope kind of lies.
Okay. And I guess, do they have to make that move soon? Like, is Newbee's strength going to be in the next couple of minutes, or do they have to wait out for, like, the super late game?
I think they might have to just wait a little bit longer.
Oh.
At bottom.
Yeah, they've got a good bit of damage. Throw out one Remnant to deal some damage to Mugi, and then he goes to a secondary one.
He was trying to get SECC to commit bottom.
Got it.
It's like, I'm going to outplay you because I can.
The Apsaur has a Blink Dagger also now.
Okay.
In 18 minutes.
He has barely less farm than his Legion Commander does.
Well, Puppy gonna get some wards down there inside the enemy jungle. Play around those most likely.
Yeah.
Anything else that's really sticking out to you as far as like the way that you see Secret wanting to take this themselves? They just keep going more of the same?
I think they just continue to farm until they get their key items.
Yeah.
Like, you wait for your BKB, then you just chill. You got a Radiance coming up on mid one. There's no point to fight before the power spike. Like, grab the Radiance. You're going to get 2 times stronger. Then you can grab some fights. Because right now, pace of game, you feel very good if you're Secret. Like, you're shoving in lanes very consistently.
Yeah. Not really much that they have to worry about. We also did see the Venomancer decide to go for the Rod of Atos. Not one you normally see, but against the Ember Spirit, pretty great. It might be the avenue for them to find a kill onto mid one potentially.
Yeah. The downside, of course, is there is a cast animation to it, though.
Right.
It's like a net. It like flies in the air, and it just like, for some reason, it roots you in place. I'm not quite sure what you're tossing with it, but...
You're tossing an Atos.
You're
Don't you know what an Atos is?
True, true.
Oh, Newbee smoked. Again, not really looking like it's going to pay off, at least in this side of the jungle, but they might decide to head mid with this now, but all of Secret is there as well. The rotation's just not really bearing fruit.
Yeah. Secret's game plan is don't lose towers we don't have to lose. That bottom one, of course, was kind of unsalvageable, but this mid one is going to be the most important one. No pun intended.
The mid one. That, he did it.
It always gets me.
Bird's taking a little bit of tower. They can't quite get all of the damage there onto the top, but they're going to be coming in with another creep wave, and that might be the moment where Newbee decide to really fully push in for that. There is a BKB on a Radiant Courier right now that's coming on out as well.
Yeah. Is that Broodmother's?
I believe so.
Is Puppy buying a wand right now? at 20 minutes. I mean, I'm not judging him.
It's a good item, man.
That's the life of a 5 position that is the only one that ever gets killed.
Your Rubik, he's got a Blink Dagger, probably going to do a Force Staff. I mean, he's got all the things in the world. You just get a wand.
You just get a wand. It's the simple things, Gabe.
Yeah.
You got to be happy about the little achievements.
Yeah.
As TP gets canceled, and Newbee, surprisingly, they're going to be the ones that go for the second Roshan in the game. 6K lead on the side of Secret, but giving up 2 Roshans in a game like this might be what they need.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because bottom lane is being fully pushed in right now.
No one's defending it.
I think that he might have been using press the attack on the catapult a little bit also.
Yeah. That should have been a tip-off, though. When nobody goes to defend bottom for like a full minute.
Right. I mean, do you think that they knew about Roche and just didn't want to do anything about it, or do you think that that was
I think they probably realized it a little bit late as Duel comes out.
Now, dual win for Fata, and Yapsor also stole Vendetta.
First one of the game. Oh, he stole Vendetta?
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know what to say. Like,
I mean, they got the lift off as soon as he walked into the sentry range, and at that point, it was just over.
I'm going to play like Yapsor Bingo. Just like have a bunch of spells listed that he shouldn't get.
Okay. Well, speaking of which, it's going to be him maybe finding something on SC now. Can't really set it up yet. The rest of his team was a little bit too far away, but he's still going to keep eyes on the Bear Man and then head off. The spite. Like, he's going back to Fountain right now. That did nothing, but it's just like a little, I'm going to keep it on top of you. His Faith taking a good bit of damage. That's a kill. Mugi not going to be able to get anything in return as mid one just saunters away. And the root to keep him stuck there. Oh, God. Are they coming in with the rest of them?
They do have Duel up.
They're thinking. Oh, Ember has Radiance now, too. I mean, he's sticking around. The Mugi is going to get jumped on now. Double Remnant forward. They find a hell of a lot of damage. They get the kill. Aegis down. Fata low. Not dead as of yet. Is he actually going to live through this? No. Can't make it happen, but that's going to be the Fiend script. Broken. Cheese eaten. SC staying alive for the moment. Can they keep him alive the full time, though? No. Another kill. Reaper's Scythe
that
on
is a
nothing.
full HP Brood.
You are not killing that man. Impale is coming out. Rubik is not going to be able to live through that one. And maybe Ace has gone a bit too far as well. Are they going to end up losing another?
That is 3 heroes down. You cannot battle this Necro. We talked about how if they don't immediately burst him down, this is what happens.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Just people staying alive, and that cheese as well by SC, making a really big difference there.
Yes. That is the upside of having heroes like Necro and Venom on your side, is because they're so annoying to play against. They slow you down. They're just going to be a hiccup along the way. But if you don't burst these heroes down, they always have that kite potential on you. It's pretty much limitless. I think this is going to pump the Broodmother to go for the Diffusal Blade. I think if she had Diffusal, she probably would have been able to pop him.
Okay.
But successful fight for them.
Well, Ember now getting caught, but it's actually going to be him almost killing Kaka. They popped the Shrine, so nice little bit of value gain for them there. And also should be mentioned, Necro picking up the Radiance for himself. So another one of these team fight items, slowly burning Secret alive.
Yeah, that was a huge trade for them. And that's where that second Aegis might just come back to haunt Secret.
Now, Kaka realizing that he's being revealed. So he headed through the Sentry Ward, and they should be able to take that one away. The TP in right now from Ace. Can get the Spike Carapace there. They actually get the lift up, the Yule Scepter, and now pulling back in another SC, trying to bring down Yapsor as a long-duration stun. The chains are there as well. They've already blown up one, but Yapsor is dead as well. Can Mugi be brought down? Almost can. He's going to get brought down there as well. SCBKB trying to run away. There's going to be ulti out from the Venomancer. They went in far too deep, and 4 are gone.
And Puppey being chased by the Bird Army, unable to do anything, though, as most of their damage going to go away. And Newbee, they felt like they had the momentum, but that mid tower never goes down easy against good teams.
And 25 minutes in, it was looking good for a little bit. Another swing back into Secret's favor. We do have the Legion Commander with an Aghanims queued up. I don't know if he's going to complete that one or not. Kind of an interesting little thing there. I guess
probably for the Necro.
Okay.
Just lock down the Necro as long as possible. but he doesn't really quite have the damage to be able to kill him solo anyways, which is the weird part.
Might just be feeling good about the game as well.
He definitely feels good about the game right now. He might even find another duel. He's pinging his team, but he's uncertain if he's under a sentry ward or anything like that. Not going to bait anybody in.
Yeah.
Your Brood's just finished Diffusal Blade. You might as well wait for it.
Playing very calm right now after a little bit of a flub there over by the Dire Ancients. Ace just going to go back to farming. Ember getting closer to that Lincoln Sphere. They still have eyes on Kake. He walks through that area again, but they won't decide to open up on a mid one. It's just too hard to kill these guys right now.
Yeah, and mid one. Just farming around right now. They ping
Kaka.
out. They know that Moogie's there.
Yeah,
Here's the
they
duel.
got the duel as well, and that's going to be a kill. And Will, it's 9,000 net worth. Do you feel like it's as bad as it was last game?
No, there's not a lot of things that are as bad as it was last game.
Okay.
Like, that was pretty unique. This game is, in my opinion, still sort of winnable. Like I said, if you don't immediately burst this Necro, his turnaround potential is good. Broodmother is one of those heroes that consistently doesn't scale into the ultra late game very well. It's just that their game plan has to change. And I don't know if they're going to be given a third Roshan. Although I wasn't certain if they get a second, and they did get it.
Right.
But I think if Secret controls this third Rosh, then I think the game is pretty straightforward for them. And if it's not, then it just becomes weird again.
What do you mean by weird?
I mean, like, now Secret has to play around the fact that that's another Aegis cheese that they have to deal with. You already saw that they had difficulties bursting down this Necrolite twice in a row.
Right.
He's going to grab a BKB pretty soon, too. Like, that's not the kind of game that you want to play. You want Dota to be as straightforward as possible.
And certainly then keeping that vision up around the Roche pit is also going to be of utmost importance. You can see that Newbee has prioritized putting a couple sentry wards by their shrine as well to make sure that they have vision in case there is a battle being getting ready to get fought there. And this is also going to be Kaka scouting out Ace. They have vision on him, but it's just too hard to take down that Broodmother.
Yeah, Ace not afraid at all. Farming wherever he wants. He's got a BKB. They don't have that hero.
Oh no, SC. He wants to farm the spiders so badly. He's hitting a lot of them, but all of the rest of Secret is there. They're going to go for the duel now. Is this going to be set up for a little bit of a bad situation? No. Ace is just too freaking big.
And
KP,
KP
he's going to get caught. Oh, the chains from so far away. Mid one, wicked sick.
He's feeling himself right now. Kaka going to try to run away from this engagement, but Secret every single time right on top of things. Fada has so much farm right now. He's kept up. And now this might just lead to a push. There's no Veno, there's no Necro, the two high ground heroes, and Kaka.
Oh, he gets lifted in the end. Gonna steal Vendetta as well, and then they're gonna be able to take down this unfortunate, very sad Kaka on the Nyx Assassin. They're keeping him
waiting
in
for the
place.
duel.
Yeah.
I wonder if they just mess with him. Yeah, they do. They're gonna wait.
There's the duel. They don't pass the Nightmare back and forth, but in the meantime, mid one also killed off Moogie inside the base. Their diving towers, nothing left at all for them. 4 dead from Newbee. They are just being pulled apart.
That is such a bad sign. You're losing one hero at the bottom. They're blatantly showing that they're chasing 3 heroes, but your 2 heroes are enough to be able to deal with the base dive. Like, at this point in the game, Newbee, options getting smaller and smaller.
Ace is getting ready. He puts his web underneath the tier 4s. He knows what he wants to do.
Yeah, and look at that. He gets galed, but Fada immediately purges it off. Looks like he got 4-staffed in by KP, but Ace doesn't care.
Ace is a very angry spider. He turns around and just going to eat up the poor bear man. They're actually going to turn down to KP. He gets eaten in 2 as well. SC, Eul Sceptered, and going to be killed off. Lane of Barracks, maybe more. What's stopping Secret? Not a damn thing.
Yeah, this is going to take no time at all for them to grab all these racks if they so choose. Newbee, base in tatters. Morale in disarray as Secret. They are so far ahead now. Another BKB grabbed by this Ember Spirit.
Yeah, Absor wasn't able to pull him back in. Puppy was trying to go for the Nightmare as well. They do finally find it now onto the Nyx Assassin. It's going to be the Necro again, caught and completely alone. They pop the BKB from mid, one chasing underneath the tier 4s. The Absor doesn't care either. They're able to bring him down eventually. Stolen Death Pulse, and GG is called. Secret just completely destroyed Newbee. No mercy.
The combined 2 games took less than an hour. Just a shade under an hour for them to just 2-0 Newbee. And Newbee, they don't look like themselves.
Yeah, this was not the same team that got second at TI just a couple of months ago, but Secret also showing up on the stage for themselves. The very first minor, they're going to move on and face Na'Vi a little bit later on today. And what do you think about that rematch? Who do you feel like is going to come out on top there?
Na'Vi obviously suffered a tough loss in Complexity yesterday, but I think they should be able to have another successful game because I think their oddball style might just match up well, but man, they looked really good. Their support duo today absolutely carried them.
Yeah, great showing. And it felt like there were so many different types of heroes that could be a problem. Like Chen, you've got Rubik now. You know, they were playing Nyx Assassin. So it's just like, where do you even go for this team right now? I'm not really sure what you really do against Secret.
Yes, but they don't look too happy yet. They've still got work ahead of them.
Yeah.
Still have to win another game.
Yeah, I guess the other thing to think about going into this next round of games also, in just a little bit, we're going to be seeing SG versus Mineski. We're waiting right now for the interviewer to get there to interview one of the members of Secret. But any thoughts going into that of who you're expecting to come out on top?
I think SG looked good, and I thought they looked a lot better because I thought that Vici team was a lot better as well.
Yeah.
But with how Mineski handled them, that one's pretty much a toss-up for me. Maybe Mineski has like the very slight upper hand, but whoever wins that has to run into... They'd have to do the opposite side, Complexity.
Yeah.
Man, this is a stacked tournament. Like, there's no road that's fun.
I mean, that's the thing that's pretty nuts about it. Is like for this minor, we've got so many top teams, so it's going to be great. But we're going to go right now to an interview with Puppy, hear what he has to say, moving on to face Na'Vi in just a little while.
Well, I wish we could do it in Russian, but we have to do it in English, sadly. Chen is becoming the first picking hero. And do you think you're actually the reason of it, because you played a lot with it before?
Maybe some of the reason. Very little.
Oh. Also, you played with Pagna a lot, and it was really successful. You had like about 100% win rate with it. But suddenly you forgot about this hero. Why?
Pagna? Yeah. It's a very interesting hero. It's actually one of those heroes that should have been played more in TI7. I think he's very strong, and playing against it is very hard. And yeah, I don't know. Like, it's basically a very pressure point hero. Like, you can see a lot of action going on the map. As you can see, we played Na'Vi, and like there was like action everywhere. So it's a very action-packed hero, and it's definitely for the meta right now.
Well, and the last question is not about the games. Maybe you can share with me a secret. How do you find all those amazing players every time, every shuffle season? How do you scout them? Do you do it on your own, or do you have some helpers?
Oh, of course, help. It's a team thing. Everybody wants to play with somebody, so the choices are, you know, they become pretty obvious with the playstyle that we need, and people are friends with somebody, so it just kind of ends up like that.
Thank you a lot, and good luck later. And we are going back to the panel.
With that series, Newbee is eliminated together with Vici Gaming. That means no more Chinese teams in the first minor of the Valve Pro circuit. I don't think a lot of people were expecting that coming into this, sitting here with Gods and Capitalists.
Nah, it's just classic China, you know. One event, your region's the best. The next event, it's like, what the fuck happened? You guys suck now. Like, it's like...
But they do. They showed that that there was no change. They just played their own style every game again, hoping that this time
God,
This
you've got
is
your
the time.
pulse on China at all times. What's happening over there? Is there some fresh new Chinese MMO that I don't know about or something? What happened?
PUBG is,
what happened to China?
PUBG
Gods?
is massive in China. I think
Oh,
that
no.
is, we're
Oops.
blaming PUBG
We
on
lost
this
Oh
one.
no, it's a different genre. I thought it was just MMOs.
No, it's gotten worse over there.
Oh
dear.
God.
I mean, that is Newbee, the MMO team. They're now the PUBG team, I guess.
0 for 4.
Over 4, just like Vici. It's just
Over 4.
Ow.
China 0 for 8. Probably could fit those games in less than like 4 or 5 hours.
Yep.
Like they were all pretty short.
They were
They-
all
one-sided.
draft, like heavily draft favored wins as well.
This is I mean, I think it's a learning experience for the region as a whole. I think because obviously the whole Chinese team's going to be watching this, like Newbee and, well, Newbee direct invite, but TI runner-up. They've also qualified for events like DreamHack since then.
Yeah.
And then Vici, the team who won the qualifier, these Chinese teams are going to be like, well, these teams beat us, and then they went and lost to this playstyle metagame. We need to change what we're doing in
Yeah.
our qualifiers to keep up.
Yeah, they need to change something. But I think a lot of people are very happy as well because with Secret winning, that means that we have a rematch of Secret versus Na'Vi later today. And that was still the most exciting series that we've seen so far. So
Yes.
there's a lot of hype to live up to that series because it's very difficult to recreate that third game there. But the Secret, they looked dominating. They didn't miss a beat. Their draft was solid. They came out with the surprise brood at the end. It worked out.
Gods, you said that you felt like Secret was just going to keep this momentum going
Yeah.
into the Na'Vi matchup, right?
I think Secret's in a really good place now. That loss against Na'Vi there, I think Secret learned more about Na'Vi than vice versa.
Yeah.
I think Na'Vi had to show like everything they had to beat Secret, and it was a very clear understanding of who were the key heroes, the Enchantress, the 4-position Roger heroes were what beat Secret. So I think Secret draft-wise will go into that series knowing how to draft and play a lot better. So I definitely give Secret a big edge there, and the momentum from this win.
Yeah.
And they even got to watch like Complexity beat Na'Vi as well. So you get to see like, okay, here's how we played against it, and now we know like what we did wrong.
Yep.
And then even better, we get to see a team that beats Na'Vi. So I am very inclined to agree with you, Gods. I think that Secret do have the advantage going into this matchup despite losing the last series.
Yeah,
This
mid
game
one.
was, yeah. 10-0-9. The Brood, I think, maybe died once or twice this game, but they were the cores of Secret. Just there was no answer for them.
No, like you see these statistics, and there's really no comparing them. Like it was very one-sided. There were a couple of sparks of hope for Newbee, but in the end, every time they did have sparks of hope, they ended up slightly overextending, and they lost a couple again.
Oh, that play from Yapsor, man. Comes in, denies, gets ace the first blood. That's the ultimate support.
Yeah,
He gets his ally the first blood by denying him.
I got you, babes.
Yep. Hey, what a like the upside for Newbee, if you can find anything, is that I do think that they look better than Vici Gaming because they got Broodmother last pick. There's not a whole lot you can do about that, right? It's just like, okay, we overlooked something in the draft. But when we're watching Vici Gaming draft, I literally felt like they had no clue. Like I thought they'd just like given up or something, you know? Like they made this mistake in the draft where they pick up this Huskar, or sorry, it was a Huskar, right?
In the game.
What was that game
Final
too
game.
that they got hard? Oh no, it was the Phantom Lancer versus AM.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
And I
they-
was like,
yeah.
they just look so out of it. They look like they really didn't understand how to draft.
I walk
This
away
match-
from
this
this
match.
event with like, yeah, Vici Gaming,
Yeah.
they played poorly, they drafted poorly, they looked lost, whereas Newbee, I think, yeah, they didn't play awfully. They had some wrong ideas about the draft, the game. They had very tough, look at the teams they lost to this tournament, Call and Secret. These might be two of the best teams at this tournament right now, next to Liquid. I feel like they had a very tough group, so I don't look at Newbee and their placement being reflective of where the team stands. I imagine they're going to go to the next event and could suddenly get a top 2 finish. Whereas Vici, I think that's a team that needs to make
These
some big
three
changes.
again, by the way.
Yeah.
They've got a great play style together.
Yeah, they really do. This is a tag team, a very scary tag team. And Puppy the MVP, it was, I guess, well, we kind of wanted Brood, but at the same time, it was a draft win. And Puppy does do the draft. That Brood, I mean, Ace has played it before. It is a really good Brood.
I am
Rain
a little
again?
bit worried about the very clear disconnect between Ace and the rest of the team, and going further and I think that is something that the team may eventually have a problem with. It works for them right now because Ace is supposed to be fairly dependent on just himself. His supports are supposed to be able to rotate a lot on mid. We see this trio gank that's happening with the offlane Fada. Like, they've got a really good thing going on. I just worry a little bit that's the only kind of playstyle I'm really seeing out of them involving
so far,
Ace,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And so that kind of playstyle isn't always going to work for you. So I do kind of worry if there's going to be any bumps in the road moving forward when they have to change things up.
I agree with that. I think the Brood game's a good example of where it's going to work perfectly. Like the Weaver game, he kind of struggled. That could have gone, if the other lanes didn't go as well as they had, it may have been a different outcome. So they can't always just leave him on his own and have him be this kind of like independent player.
Yeah, they have not been forced yet to try something else, but perhaps against Na'Vi later today, they'll find themselves in a tough situation where we're going to see them being forced into something else. There's a chance of that. But before Na'Vi Secret, we're going to have another series first. It is time for Mineski versus SG. That's going to be a very hype match as well. We're going to be right back after a break, and when we're back, it's time for that game.